Oh, I have got to stop sleeping in my spacesuit. Hello, Star Citizen. I am Tostig, and we are in the PTU, patch 324.2. I have, the alt helm doesn't work. Let me try that again. There we go. This is, Keisha. I usually dress up as her for the PTU. She's got some of the new hair and a little of the facial amenities. That's the tree from Orison and some eye and ear piercings. Pretty nifty. I like that they're adding this stuff, allowing us to detail our characters the way we want, which is always a good thing, I think. So put that back on, and let's go see about the ship. Alright, I'm not quite sure why I have that in my hand, but it's probably a graphical glitch. I'll have to work on that. See if that keeps happening. Let's head down to the hangars and take a look at the Zeus ES, which is the version I own. Zeus is proving to be a nice ship. I had it out a little bit yesterday. In between patch loads, it crashed out a couple of times on me, and I had some real delays, so I parked it here and thought we'd give it a try today after this current version gets a chance to cook a bit. But before we do that, I have not been able to buy anything from the refinery deck or from the cargo decks of places that have them. The Galleria's, the weapon shop and the armor shop seems to be working, but we're definitely having some trouble buying. In this case, I'm looking for a tractor beam. I wouldn't mind getting a large tractor as well, and maybe even a repair tool if there's one available here, although I'm doubtful I can get one here. And these don't look like they're quite right yet. They are not. Yeah. So, and yep, yeah, they're not responding. So, still not working on those. That's been a bit for a while with this 324.2 line. So, hopefully they get that resolved and get those problems fixed up, so we can get back to the PU, and you guys can get a look at this if you haven't been out here yet. Let's check in.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Alright, Zeus is ready to recall. Let's go take a look. Taking off out of Area 18 yesterday, I either clipped a building or did a little bit of, oh, that's not good. And let's go back to the lobby. Last time I had the elevator drop me off in space like that, it literally dropped me off in space. So, and maybe we will call the Zeus up. Have it build a hangar for us.
Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Alright. Tells me there's a hangar there. See how we do. I need to find something to drink. Ooh, oh. All right. Look at that. There she is. There's the Zeus ES. And all her retro styling space shuttle super ship kind of look for her. She's got... Do wish this gun would take advantage of this bay and be retracted. I don't think that happens until the gear goes up. But I really do think that should be retracted until you power up that seat. But on the other hand, the ship does load with all power on, so maybe that's exactly what happens, and I just have to do some inspecting on that. All right. In we go. I'm sure lots of you have taken tours on these things in better ways than I have. But from my point of view, it's a good ramp. You get inside. Everybody seems to like these clear piston walls that they can see the ship's function and how it unlocks. We've got a little slow to react component bay, including a fuse rack. Some kind of I'm hoping this will be an active tracking panel for at least warnings and notifications. Power plant, which is, again, I don't have a tractor reading, so I can't check. And a cooler across the way here. We've got jump drive, another cooler, another power plant. And this component bay will be the radar when they physicalize that. And of course, there's a shield generator. I have not upgraded these components, although I have looked in the couple of stations I've stopped in. This component bay is not active and will probably be where I park my Atlas. That, in this patch, according to CIG, will now become available to purchase in-game, which I think is fabulous. I did not buy one, although I probably could use the LTI token. I did not buy one in-game. Now, this is what broke me yesterday. I put stuff in this locker, and it stopped loading all external, and I could not get to anything. Now, there is nothing in this locker. Maybe I put it in the first one. That's where I originally started working on it. Yes, and it loaded in here. So I've got an extra gun, some components, and a helm. Should have a suit in there, but I don't. But still not bad. All right, hopefully that continues to work now that I've looked at it. Going out here in the hall again, go down in the hall a little bit. We've got a weapons rack. It's a nice spot. Looks like it's a standard weapons rack. Got a couple of handguns in here. A couple of multi-tools, but no attachments in them. So as you can see, there's no module in this one. So I'm going to put that back for now. Or maybe I won't. All right. Keep that in the ship. And then I've got a couple of P4s in the rack, which is my usual go-to gun when I'm coming out of Area 18. I like the that is not opening up. Is there a fire in there or something? That is a very flashy red light. To get these things closed down, see if it's keeping other doors from opening. I don't see why it would, but that panel is in general not flashing. So usually they're... There we go. This finally opened. Oh, I do have something to drink in here. Well, that's interesting. That should not have worked. I should not have been able to grab that through the glass. Alt H, put this away. On the inventory. And put that up here. This is an interesting kind of a hold it in the hand feature, but they are not I'm not ready to physicalize that all yet, so... Well... And let's get out of inventory. And let's get this drunk. Game does seem to lag a little bit. Maybe I should put up the specs and see how the session's going. Alright. Let's put that there. There's a little bit of trash. Would like to see CIG handle trash with some kind of a magical incineration device that you could put the trash in, and it just takes it out of the verse, because at some point trash is going to start piling up. Alright. The exit for the front of the ship, which should be interesting. Probably won't let me do it because I'm carrying something. Of course, the engineering terminal here is active. Shield generators, battery. Another gravity generator, which is not physicalized yet. And a shield generator on that side. So those are the total of the components. Let's get rid of this. Let's put on this. Just because it's a good habit. And here we are up on the Zeus. Which is kind of good looking. It's going to tell you there's no step there, so I'll stand right on it. Heat danger. I think there is a fueling port here someplace as well. Yep, here we are. Fueling port at the front. That'll be the target for most of you Starfarer drivers. When this thing runs on fumes, I'll be calling. I promise. Alright. Now, the nice thing about this airlock is it does have access for spacewalks. So if you come up to this unit, you can come up on this side. And it should close, but it is very sluggish. I think this is a painful jump. A bit of one anyways. And oh, here we go. Here's that ladder access we did. From inside. Into the ship. There we go. He's definitely having some... It's not letting me get on that... Not letting me get on that ladder. Well, we're just a mess here, aren't we? I think I talked about doing this. But let's take a look at the cockpit first. She's open. You can see 3 seats. We've got the gunner's seat, which on this would run the turret. The co-pilot seat, which you can actually fly from. And, of course, a pilot seat. We do have a couple more handguns. You can see I'm partial to Lakota, like the stopping power. I've only got one, but I couldn't put. Yeah, I still can't outfit my gear. Yeah. So, and there are no utilities at the bottom. And this weapons rack has a large weapons holder, which I would imagine would be a railgun if we're going into trouble. And probably will be a repair tool or salvager if we're mostly doing day-to-day hauling or engineering or exploring. So that is the weapons rack, and of course we have the suit lockers. I will really hope that it up and running for 4.0, but it will be interesting to see how it goes. We definitely are having some lag issues with that, however. All right. So, flight ready.
Welcome to Modern Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
All right. Engines on.
Engines are on. Quantum fuel is at 100%.
Okay. Now, this does use up all of my current configuration has it all of it. I have 3 power to guns, 3 to engine, and 3 to shields. 2 to life support, which I can probably get down to 1 since it's just me, but we should have one. That radar, it's either on or off, I believe. Yep, I'm going to leave that on. And then coolers are set to minimums. There's 2 of those. Shield and weapons are not active right now. VTOL is down. G-Safe is on. I'm in coupled mode, and ESP is active. Alright, I have not locked it. I believe this lock is for me locking the power settings to my controls, which I remember reading something about, although I have not really looked at that too much. And I did just watch an interesting video where somebody set these first 3 to his hat positions. Up for left hat for weapons, up hat for engines, and right hat for shields, and down hat to minimize all 3 of those settings, and then maximize whichever ones he wanted to. Obviously, you can minimize engines if you're not using thrust, and keeping to a fight, you want to have probably some more shields and more weapons. So, kind of a tactical choice. I'm going to look at doing some of that, and I will let you know what my thoughts are on it once I get some of that done. But for now, let's see if ATC, which I believe has been fixed. That's encouraging. Get off the ground, turn on the VTOL for a little extra lift, and this ship does have VTOL. It's got a gold pass on it, so it's supposed to. Alright, I believe my close all is not working, so let's get this done. Interesting, I can't get that door to close. It's still uncoupled. Moving forward, we'll turn that off. Gear is up. And let me see if I can find a closed door button here. Engines on. Deploy landing gear. Open exterior, exit. See, it thought the exterior was open, so let's close it. See what that does for us. There we go. And there she is. That is the Zeus ES. She's a good-looking ship. Let's see what we have for missions here. Mercenaries, just 2. Clear claim jumpers for Shubin. Crew L4, that's a long way off. But they did improve the jump speeds. I believe Foxy Loxy did a little bit of that to show the improvements that they did to jump speed at the cost of fuel and efficiency. They have fixed the cost of fuel in this patch. It's no longer the pricey nightmare that it was. Call to arms is always useful when you're going in for a fight. We are tracking to clear the jumpers, so let's go to Crew L4. The heads-up display is much crisper. They took a lot of the holographic that they added to it. They took it out, which has been a real plus. I understand their logic behind trying to make that holographic has some depth to it, but it's much more subtle. You can see it here in the numbering and in the 1500. It's much more subtle, not as blurry, and the actual map itself is very crisp in the center. And that's the way it should be. The more you get off center, you should see more of that holographic backup. As you can see, the cancel here has some background to it, but the center of it, the Stanton, is very crisp and sharp. And I think that they're doing a better job of showing it to be a holographic projection and having a focused center. And if you move around, that center can change the way it looks. And they fix that too. The rotation works. So, and off we go. All right. So while we're doing that, because we've got a few minutes for that run, let's go into options and key bindings and advanced customization, and we want to look at joystick and HOTAS vehicle multifunction displays. Here we go. And you can see there is all of these multifunction, but actually what we want to start with is power management. So scanning, mining, salvage, movement, advanced weapons, missiles, power. Here we go. Flight power. And we want to set we want to be able to set power weapon. All right. We want engines, shields, and thruster or engines, shield, and weapons to 0 is where we want to start. So, or minimum. So power, shields, decrease throttle to minimum, increase throttle to max. So set shields to minimum. This is with a hold. So we're going to do this and hat 1, which is yes, because scanning and beam spacing, beam angle will only work in scanning, which is fine. I'll have to see if this functions across those as well. And then we want to set shields to max to be, shields is the end one, so we're going to do the right hat one. We're going to set engines to minimum. Again, will be the down. Yep. And engines are the middle of the 3 that we see, so we're going to put that to up. Yes, that's fine. And then we want to do that. Yes. And then, so we have engines, shields, weapons. Set weapons to minimum. It's all down. Yes. Set weapons to max is left. All right. Let's see. So we've done that. Return to game. So if I pull down, if I hold down, you can see engines, shields are at minimum because they're not on. And then if I want to send weapons to max, I just click there. If I want to do engines to max, I click up and hold. All right. Now there's no spacing for that. So I thought it would only use the max of the what was available to take. I'll have to look. Oop, I did just shut the quantum drive off because I didn't give it any power. So there we go. Okay. up that? Why was it off? Let's see what I did wrong here. So, power down. Let's do power to shields. So this max to shield has no more power available. So shields can use up everything. Wow, I gotta work on getting some better engines. So let's pull everything back down. That's max for that. And then engines. Shit. Max for that. And max for that. There we go. Well, that didn't quite work the way he had it, but I will have to look at that and see what I'm doing wrong. What he was able to do, or what this video showed, was if he had a pool of 8 or 10 points out of the 22, which is available over here on this. So what was available, he would put it into like 6 points into weapons or 5 points into weapons without overpowering, which I believe is what this flag is this is an overpower. So we put 6 here, and it would leave him 3 and 4 to put to shields or quantum drive. Shields are off because we're in quantum, but then he could put the remaining 4 or 5 here, and that would be the max that it would set. Now it on my situation, it's taking the max and adjusting it out of other pieces of equipment. Now, cooler is yellow, but I don't know if I'm overheating. I think what I need to do is find a better power supply and perhaps more efficient coolers. That'll be interesting to see what efficiency coolers have, to see if you can get the most power out of them. Is there a quantum drive that burns more fuel but uses less power, or that burns less fuel and uses less cooling? Although it'll be interesting to see if those options are available, if they'll show them to us, if we can see those things in the descriptive when we go to purchase them. But we'll take a look and see what I can find at Crew L4. I do like Crew L4. It has a terminal for selling contraband goods, which is never a bad thing to have if you're doing salvage, which I do. You can sell small amounts of contraband goods. It's not quite as easy as it used to be because there's not as much, well, there hasn't been as much contraband and cargo in the salvage missions, and I've been sticking to mostly panels just to try and make some money. I think I have, in the PU, I have about 4 million credits, which is not bad. I'm trying to get to, I don't really need another cargo hauler. I'm just waiting on an Ironside to drop, and I have a Caterpillar. You can see there are turrets that start to pop up, which are kind of neat. We'll start slowing down here in a little bit. I'll drop out of quantum. Or travel mode here. Nav mode, excuse me. Yeah, let's get this off. Am I right side up? I am right side up. Should be a medium hangar, so no gateway granted yet. We'll just hold station until they give us something. I don't know why we aren't getting a station or a gateway. There doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic here. Oh, and it just popped in a second. There you go. You can see it's a little intermittent on coming in. And that purple, while it's popular with the Zeus crowd, is definitely A little thumpy, but not too bad. Alright, power down.
System off.
Power down. I do like the look of this RSI ship. I've done a nice job. There we go. There we go. Oh. It's interesting that that has not landed yet. Let's see what happens there. Oh, those red panels, they pop up with a small R and B screen too, which I'm sure must be this red-blue flashing, but I am not getting the function to close the ramp. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But let's go see what we have at Platinum Bay here. So as I mentioned, there is a contraband terminal. And if you get out of the elevators and go over to this back locker room, there it is, right there, still here in the game. And you can sell contraband items. I don't have any. I believe this is not limited to, so it should include, along with some drugs, there are some things you can't sell here. You have to take them to a salvage yard or something similar. But you can bring the leftover cargo from failed missions and from missions where you submit without completing. I think that they'll give you, it's pennies on the AUEC, but free money is free money, and if people want to give you money, let them give you money. Okay. Power plants. So we need something, well, you know what, that's a good question. Why don't I look at that for a second? Select the ship. We are using power plants. We have a full force, which is a 2C civilian. And we have 2 of those, along with a chaos drive. But it's all those shield generators. But let's see if we can do something better than a size 2 grade 3. Let's see if we can find something better than that. It's also a civilian. They're probably efficient, but not super efficient. More likely stable and with a reasonable amount of health. But let's see if they've got anything else. So there's a... well, that seems to be it. So nothing there worth writing home about. What about coolers? Full frost. Well, I don't think I'm going to spend the money on that right now. So I think this might have been a wasted trip. But since we're here, let's look at those shield generators. Palisades, 1A industrials, 2A industrial, Rampart. And 4. A little bit of rubber banding there from the peanut gallery. Walk around NPCs, but at least they're walking around. They're not standing on stuff. Step in the right direction, right?
Vehicle selected. Standby selected. Standby.
I didn't have to, but the last time I didn't select the vehicle, I got dropped off in the middle of space, like I said. So I think we're better off to try and get the vehicle retrieved. Medium hang. That's encouraging. Really does not want to close up the ship, does it? Okay. Now I have a flight ready button, but that does not seem to turn the engines on anymore. Okay. Let's see. Well, the coolers are where I left them. Quantum drive, shields. There are 4. These two. I'm still only getting 22, and it's still using up all that power. Engines are minimum, guns are minimum. I still would like to put a little more power on this thing. But that might be something to try in a little bit. Air traffic. And VTOL is active. I believe this ship does have... Oh yeah, let's close that up. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? That doesn't look like an exit. I don't know that. Well, we seem to be stuck in midair here. Can I turn off the VTOLs? Nope. Close the exterior button works. This is very strange. I can't go left and right. I can't lower and raise my gear. I can't get out of VTOL mode. There's no front and back. No left and right. No rolling. I can only go up. Couple mode is off. I should be falling like a brick. Yeah, we're definitely having some trouble here. Alright. Well, folks, I guess we're going to have to end this video here, and I will fill out a incident report on Spectrum for loss of flight controls. Thank you for joining me. I'm Tostig, and is it a game? I'm still in it.